Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Don Berlyn joining us here, our hypnotherapist from Flagstaff Hypnotherapy. Always a pleasure having him. And today, behind the scenes, I got a tour of the home and we had some good conversation. It was great. Yeah, we got to catch up. So, show maybe a little shorter, but we're excited to still have him. He's been an amazing guest for so many months, and I've gotten to know him very well. And he's so calming, so peaceful. So, everything I'm not that I need to be. So, maybe I need more hypnotherapy because yeah, this helps in so many ways. And he's just a good person. And I love working with and talking with good people. Life is so precious. So he's a good one, ladies and gentlemen. You need a hypnotherapist, go to him, please. And that's flagstaffhypnotherapy.com. And yeah, he's here to help you use the power of your mind to obtain that life you want. Is that good? Is that right?
That sounds great.
All right,
Yeah,
good.
so
Say
so
hi.
um so I guess you're the representative for the audience. So over the many shows we've had, do you have any questions?
No, I always have questions, right? But
Uh-huh.
I feel like you've given me everything I need to know about hypnotherapy, but you just
Mhm.
I worry about the listeners who are just tuning in. Maybe they have no idea what we're even talking about. They don't even know you, me, stress, anxiety,
Yeah.
all the things it could help with. But it's, I just feel like you are just such a calm person. Like
Yeah.
this, and like, okay, that testimonial. Let's see, hold on. Dana says you're amazing, caring, and so professional.
Oh, nice.
And you always, Todd says you've learned whatever the human and mind can conceive and believe it can achieve. And you, Dawn at Flagstaff Hypnotherapy, is the place to help make this happen. Highly recommends you reach out. And yeah, it's stuff like that. You're hearing people watch his YouTube video as well, Flagstaff Hypnotherapy. But it's like, it's pretty interesting because I've never really done hypnotherapy. And I know we've
Hmm.
done some mock type sessions. It wasn't like fully real because it's only, 20 something, almost 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But I just love how people are crediting you to changing their life.
Hmm.
And that's awesome.
Yeah. So a lot of what we've done hasn't been like there's a big overlap between like visualization and hypnosis and some of the things we've done where you actually end up in an altered state.
Mm-hmm.
So so it's kind of funny. There's this overlap between meditation, visualization, and hypnosis. And sometimes it's all three. So people want to know what the difference is, but basically it's being in an altered state, but being in a focused altered state. So either you create the things on your own or with suggestions, and in my case, suggestions that you want, um, we enter those when you're in this altered state. So I wanted to do something kind of weird, which is kind of do a reintroduction of who I am and how I got here.
Perfect.
So the story from before is basically I've been hypnotherapist, or excuse me, a physical therapist since 1986. Mainly did orthopedics and sports. Started working with chronic pain patients. My usual PT stuff wasn't really working, so I looked into other ways to work with pain. Found they used hypnosis to be as an anesthetic before they had chemical anesthetics, and so that started me off on this path. And now a lot of what I do is stress and anxiety, but there's also specific things like test anxiety, there's smoking, there's the medical things and pain things I still work with some.
Mm-hmm.
So one question is, so how did my mind kind of get to where it is? And all my life. But so a couple things happened, and I'm not looking for sympathy, but just a way that how I got to where I am as far as
Sure.
how I can be calm sometimes. So I had two boys. They were 4 and 6, and I was happily married, and we were doing all kinds of athletic things. Um, you know, biking and running and hiking and all the different things. And I had a business, a physical therapy business. And then my wife died suddenly of a really bad disease. And so that was back in 2002.
Oh,
And for about a year, I was like a zombie. I just got through the day. It's a good thing I had my boys because that gave me something to wake up for and take care of. And
and
then I had my
how did
business.
they handle it? They were 4 and 6 when she
Four and
passed.
six. Yeah,
Ah,
they're 4 and 6. So and I had lots of help too. It wasn't like I did this all on my own.
okay.
But emotionally I was just numb. So a friend of mine suggested I go to this one retreat. It happened to be in this wonderful place in Mexico. So we're there and um, we had something in common as far as a certain kind of body work we did, but it really wasn't about the body work. Got exposed to yoga and silence and meditation and just all kinds of different things, as well as, lots of nice body
Yep.
work. And it really changed my way of thinking, like how to be so focused and how to, use yoga and how to do meditation. And that really served me well. It just turned things around. And so I came back to life and was living a full life and then um, ended up getting remarried. And then at the same time as COVID, my second wife ended up getting colon cancer and went through all this stuff for about 2.5 years. And then she passed away. But the thing is, and again, not looking for sympathy, but it's kind of what you learn from life. And so I really learned how to be in the moment. So I can go back and experience things that are negative, and everything that happened, right? So, and I don't try and forget it or pretend it never happened. And I can kind of sometimes the negative things can
Yeah.
creep in, and then I realize, okay, that was real, and maybe I stay with it for a while.
Yeah.
Um, and but then I can bring my mind to right now, like what's happening right now. And then also I can bring my mind to the future. Everyone can, right? It's
Yeah.
just how I got to where I am and maybe some of the abilities I have. That was just through life. I wasn't necessarily born this way in a lot of ways. And I can use what I've learned to help other people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny how the mind works. Like my my first wife, I knew, when she died, I had distinct memories. But then as my second wife was getting sicker and sicker, I began to actually mix up their names. Like my first wife's name would come up when I was thinking about what my
Yeah.
second wife was going to. So it's weird how my
Wow.
brain made a connection between,
Process that. Mm-hmm.
like the deaths and all that. So our minds do funny things. So I just wanted to reintroduce that because I thought it might be a fuller explanation of how I got to where I am and how I do what I do. So all the physical therapy stuff, all that's true. And that's the reason I went to look for that with
Yep.
pain and working with people's pain. But it's allowed me to go much deeper than just that, or simply helping people quit smoking. So I can work with a lot of things, maybe at a deep level,
Yeah, you've
because
taken
normally,
on a lot of burden. You have a lot of emotion. You had a lot of hardships. You had a lot of loss, a lot of grief, a lot of
uh
sadness. But you've
yeah,
also seen and had the other side with the family and the boys and the love and the,
mhm,
but wow, you've been up, you've been down, I mean, I can
mhm,
only imagine. But that also makes you more susceptible to helping and empathizing with people that are
mhm,
in need, that are going through so much. So, yeah.
yeah.
And then you
And
wonder
so,
why, right? I don't know how you are, but it's like I feel like everything happens for a reason, as sad or hard as it is to hear about
mhm,
losing someone you love, just in life
yeah.
in general. It just, you know, it's
Yeah, and also,
amazing.
yeah, people
Uh,
have, I had my experiences, but everyone has their
Yeah,
experiences, whatever that might be. And so, so we learn things along the way.
yeah,
And so you can kind of share those things to help other people and learn how to live in maybe in the moment and but still have those things there and not get trapped in the past
yeah.
and get trapped in the suffering and all that. So it is kind of an option. We don't realize we can do it sometimes, that
Mm-hmm.
we can decide what we're going to think about and what we're
Yep.
going to feel and what memories we're going to choose to
Wow.
explore. So I think we have time for me to do one technique, and some of what I do is from neural and linguistic programming. So
Programming.
NLP,
Mm-hmm.
people have heard of NLP, and I may have used that word
Yep.
before. But we're going to use something, and what I'd like, the way this works is we're going to use with two pictures, two images. So one image is going to be something that's going on now that's affecting you in a negative way. And I don't need to know what it is. I'll be talking you through the steps. And the other picture is going to be of something, a really pleasant thing from the past that's like a resource.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we're going to work with things that already happened. Potentially, you could work with the positive thing being something you would like. But for right now, I'd like you to take and go ahead and close your eyes for this. It makes it easier. So the first picture is going to be of something really negative, something painful that is troubling you now or has recently troubled you. So I'd like you to make it in great detail. See all the colors, any textures, any movements, if there's any people there, anything about that. Just noticing everything about it. And it's really clear. It's crystal clear. And if there's any sounds, you can easily hear them. Maybe there's other senses involved. But this really negative experience, this painful time, is crystal clear. Good. So let that shrink down and go into out of your vision for a moment. And now bring up that positive feeling, that positive memory, and just start to notice it. Notice all the details and start to make them brighter and brighter, more and more detailed. Everything is magnified and the feeling is magnified as well. So any sounds, any other senses are becoming clearer. And then let that fade for a moment out of your vision and bring back the negative thing. So there it is in front of you, but now something's happening where it's becoming more dull. Colors are becoming washed out, duller. If there's any movement, it's slowing down. You know the word pixelated, things are becoming pixelated. The sound is becoming quieter and more muffled. Any other senses involved, they're becoming duller. And maybe the picture itself is shrinking, becoming smaller, fuzzier. And let that go. And then bring back the positive feeling, that positive image. And now it's going to be magnified even more. Maybe it's getting larger. Any movements are becoming more clear, more precise, possibly faster. Any sounds you hear are becoming more clear. Maybe a little bit louder, still comfortably, but more loud, more easier to hear, more distinct. Colors are becoming more and more vibrant. Everything about this positive experience is becoming magnified, even more positive. Let that go away for a second. Now bring back the negative thing. By this time, it's getting smaller. It's fuzzier, it's less clear. Any sounds there are were muffled, but now they're silent. Any movement has stopped. All colors have faded to maybe some kind of gray. And then you notice that this picture, this experience, is getting smaller and smaller, harder and harder to see, to the point where it disappears. And in place of that, you're bringing that positive experience. It's right in front of you now.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's magnified. It's amazingly brilliant. Whatever feelings there are magnified. It's even more positive. You're just breathing that in, being in that experience. Maybe even walking right into that picture, having that experience again. Feeling it all through your body, all in your mind. Having that positive experience again. Knowing that it's always there, anytime you like. You bring that memory up, magnify everything again and again, making it just amazingly beautiful, clear, powerful. And then when negative things come up, go through the same process. Kind of explore it in detail, see whatever information's there. And then going back and forth, you're going to make it smaller, fainter, harder to see. Whatever there is in history is still there, but it's becoming fainter, less powerful, just fading away. And if for any reason you ever need to revisit it, it's there. But mostly it's getting harder to find, less and less distinct. Any lessons you need to learn, you've learned, but you're letting that piece of your life just fade away. And again, on the positive thing, you find that positive memory, you get what you want out of it. You make it brighter and brighter, easier to access whenever you want. Good.
Mm-hmm.
So how is that?
Good. Can I open my eyes? Yeah.
Good.
Hello.
So that our minds work like that. Our
Huh.
memories are just like, again, the analogy I use is like books in the library. So lots of times we get stuck in a book that we don't like,
Yep.
but we can't help ourselves. We're just reading that book over and over and experiencing those negative feelings.
Yep.
And our subconscious does not know where it is in time. So if you're having an experience, if you're having a memory, it's as if you're experiencing it right now. So if it's something scary, your heart rate goes up, your blood pressure goes up, your muscles tense up, you really feel scared, okay?
Yeah.
As if it's happening right now. Likewise, if
Interesting.
there's a positive thing, maybe you just achieved something great in your life. You feel like it's happening right now. When you really
Hmm.
get into that memory, maybe you stand up taller. Maybe you actually put your arms up like you're crossing the tape at the end of a race.
Wow.
Maybe you're walking up on stage to get your diploma. Maybe you've got your job and for the first time you're doing whatever it is. Maybe for you it was the first time you're on air. But that feeling of accomplishment, that
Mm-hmm.
is there in your memory and you can experience that whenever you want.
Yeah.
So we actually have a choice of which books we're going to choose, what
Ah,
memories we want to be in. You can take the feeling from those memories, bring it to right now, experience that. Then you can use it to look into the future. So let's say something's coming up, maybe a new challenge. You're deciding to move or do something different, get a different job. And maybe you have some doubts and some self-doubts and worries. And maybe those are starting to overcome everything. But you could decide, well, wait a second. I've succeeded before. I've achieved things before. Let's get into that memory. Let's make that memory super strong, have that feeling. And then when you're envisioning the future, you bring that feeling with you, the feeling of success and happiness and whatever else it might be. So that all kind of makes sense?
I feel so calm, relaxed, like the silence. Like I had to mute
Yeah.
my button. I didn't know if you hear the computer, like with all that silence. I'm like, "Arr." But
Well, I don't
no,
think I do, but yeah.
I got to, that's good. Thank you. The
Yeah.
negative becoming smaller and smaller.
Yeah. So different ways to look at it. Memories are like books. Your subconscious doesn't know where it is in terms of time and
Mm-hmm.
place. And so anything you get into, whether it's your imagination or whether it's a memory, you can make it real. You can feel real as if it's happening right now, whether it's positive or negative.
Good.
You I don't know how we're doing on time. We're probably close, but
Yeah, we are. God, it's 3:30 Eastern Standard. Wait, what time is it there?
it is 12:30 our time, my
12:30. It's
time.
12, 1, 2, 3. That's right. It's three
Yeah,
hours.
Arizona
I
is
always get
we don't
confused
go
if it's 3 or 4. You guys never change,
we
right?
don't go on daylight savings time. So half the year we're 2 hours different, and half the year we're 3 hours different.
I like that. I wish they would do that here. There's like that legislation in place they were supposed to, and nothing's happened with it.
Yeah, it's like everyone's in favor of it, but it never somehow seems to get passed.
Right. What do you think about it? You're good? You're living it.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, you just know what time it is, you know if the sun's up or not.
Got it.
You just adjust.
All right.
Down in Phoenix, where you think it doesn't make any difference. It's still way over 100. You just, you deal with it.
Got
Um,
it.
and if you want to, you can change your hours yourself. If you don't want to open your business until 10 a.m., I mean, if you
Right.
have that option, then you don't open until 10.
Got
And,
it.
if you want to wait, open your business at 7 a.m., you do that
That's
for
great.
those who can. And, progressive businesses try and accommodate their employees to the extent they can.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
yeah. So, but
Well,
yeah,
thank
as
you.
far as
Thank you.
daylight
Thank
savings time,
you.
it's nuts. Yeah.
Tell
So,
us how we can reach you, and hopefully we will connect again.
yeah. So it's flagstaffhypnotherapy.com. That's the website.
Got it.
Um, and from there, you can also do the YouTube as well. Um, and those podcasts should be there soon. And
Great.
then my email is flaghypno@gmail.com. So that's flaghypno@gmail.com.
Beautiful.
And then the big audience, I may regret this, but you can always text me at 928-699-8263. So that's 928-699-8263. Yeah, it's been wonderful. Really
Same
enjoyed
here.
working with
Thank
you.
you. And where are your boys now? How
Well,
old are they?
one's in Missoula, Montana,
And okay, that's
and he's got a degree in wildlife management, so he's looking for work there.
wow.
And my other son is in Oregon, working in firefighting
Amazing.
and forest fire
Proud
firefighting.
papa. Good for
Yeah, I
you.
really am.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you again for being here, Don. I wish we had more time, and
Yeah.
hopefully we will connect again. Thanks so
Okay.
much. Don
Thank you too.
Berlyn,
Bye now.
Flagstaff Hypnotherapy. Bye. Enjoy your day.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.